Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video today. I want to give you some update for the upcoming month, energy wise, what to expect, how to use these energies, what's going on in the collective consciousness, in the energy field of this planet, and why so many of us may be feeling like an incredible shift is happening. Some of you are having this kind of symptoms of moving through the shift. Like one day you feel completely aligned, the second day you feel like everything is off. One day you feel aligned, synchronized, excited, the second day you feel completely drained out, exhausted, burned out. It's a sign of the shift that's happening. And before we begin, may this new energy bring you some renewal into your life, some unexpected opportunities. May it turn you towards doors that are opening for you, and may it remind you to be patient with yourself. So there are two major symbols that came to me, and actually one was so potent that I needed to paint it, and I'm excited to share my latest painting with you. Today I will actually share in this video the painting process of this painting. But I also have the finished painting here, and I want to show it to you. But before I show it to you, I want to explain the story behind this. So I went into meditation and I asked the source, or the universe, whatever you believe, to give me an answer or a symbol or guidance for you, for my people, for this upcoming month. Like, what can I share with you? And the symbol appeared in front of me. It was a hummingbird, and it was so beautiful. It was in a light, so beautiful that I needed to paint it. So here we go. Are you ready? This is what I painted. So firstly, I didn't thought much about it, like what it could be symbolizing. But it was so interesting because it's not usual that an animal appears to me. Usually it's a symbol like a heart with wings, or infinity inside of atom, or this one here, the pyramid and brain and stairs. Usually it's like this, but when it's an animal, I research it a little bit. So I've noticed that our great ancient ancestors looked at hummingbirds as very sacred animals. In all ancient traditions, we find hummingbirds as very sacred animal. It's the only bird that can actually fly backwards. And if you observe hummingbirds, you may notice how incredibly they can stabilize their head. And when I started thinking about it, there was one thought that came to me, and I want to read it to you. It was, mind firmly on your vision of stability while your body is going through this storm. This was one thought that came to me while I was, seeing this hummingbird. And as I look at the world right now, I just feel like almost everyone is going through a certain type of a storm. Like the whole year of 2024 was a year of a storm. And the purpose of this storm truly is to turn us towards greater stability and a lifestyle that becomes sustainable for us. So many of us have been reevaluating our lives and kind of recalibrating ourselves with our real authentic values, not other people's values, but our own values. So I've seen so many people going through incredible transition this year. And I actually know many people who are right now at a completely different place than they were at the beginning of this year. They're still going through a lot, but they are at such a better position than they were at the beginning of this year. Personally, I've been going this year through quite a journey. Like me and Maya moved 2 times. one particular cycle completed this year for us that started around 7 years ago. And we know that because we came back to the place that we've started. We just felt called to come back to the place where we've started. Actually, this place where I'm recording this right now is a house in which we've started our journey, where I've started painting, and everything started here. We've started renovating this house and all of that. People from back then came back into our lives, and so many synchronicities happened this way. So one cycle for me completed, it's like coming back to beginning, but from a higher state, like, you know, moving in a cycle, but going upward spiral. So now I can see almost, you know, same place as before, but from a different perspective. Lessons came back, emotions from the past came back, certain stored or suppressed fears, certain suppressed stories came back, so I can observe all of this from a bit higher perspective. That's how my year until now was going. But as we're moving slowly towards the end of the year, how I'm feeling within myself is I'm feeling more and more stable, I'm feeling more and more pure, more and more in resonance with who I am, and I'm able to express myself more purely, more authentically. That's what I'm noticing in my life, and I'm sharing this with you because it's very related to the month that's in front of us. As we're moving towards the end of the year, we're moving into a greater stability that must come from our values. So if we come back to this hummingbird, I've been studying a little bit, you know, what this different ancient traditions taught about this sacred animal, and I've noticed that, for example, Native Americans, every time they've seen a hummingbird, they looked at it as a symbol of joy, of beauty, of love, but also as of resilience and adaptability. For example, in Navajo people, the hummingbird is a symbol of resilience and adaptability, and often stories describe the hummingbird's tireless search for sustenance, signifying perseverance in the face of hardship. It's also a symbol of messenger and a healer. So just think about these characteristics or values of or importances, which one resonates with you the most? Because if this symbol came to me right now for this message, there must be something that can speak to you. Then in Mesoamerican cultures, there's another meaning that's related to love and fertility. Now, if we look around the world right now, we all see a bunch of chaos, right? And the upcoming selection in USA is quite a big deal. One versus another, left versus right. And it's a big deal. And when we're thinking about this, we're always wondering where there's place for love, and we don't see it outside, right? So what I've seen after these visions, I've seen planet Earth, and there was a very dark cloud around this planet Earth, but inside of the Earth there was a very bright sun, which reminded me to really find the sun within. It's really not right now a time to look outside to find hope, to find stability, to find, trust. It's within you. And, it just became more interesting. More I was in this meditation, more the whole process became interesting. As, all this hummingbird thing was related to joy, related to playfulness, related, it's a very colorful bird. So make your life colorful right now. Make your life a joyful experience right now. In the midst of chaos that's happening in the collective, Make your own world joyful. Find things that put you into joy. Find things that will make your life colorful. Like, I don't know, take time to edit your home a little bit. Take time to reevaluate your work, your job, your relationships. Could you bring more joy to it, more playfulness, more childlike, creativity, and play with that? You see, I was enjoying so much painting this hummingbird because I love colors. Like, all my paintings are so colorful, but I have moments when I don't feel like doing much of colorful things. Sometimes I have moments of darkness where I'm feeling down, and those are moments where I would not paint something colorful. I would paint something dark, like this one is a bit darker, or this one. You see, it's not a bad thing. Darkness is not a bad thing. It's equal to the light. Both need to be in balance, like yin-yang symbol. They're both equal. They balance each other out, right? But right now, as we are moving to this next month, what's important to know is to recognize that if this year was a battle for you, now enter into colorful sensations. Now slowly move into your inner sun. Now do things that lift you up. You've been through a lot. You've been through battles. You've been through the darkness. You've been doing shadow work. You've been going through huge challenges. You've been battling your ego. Maybe you've been going through what people call ego death, where you've kind of shattered your old identity and you're like emerging as a new you. Know that this is all overwhelming, but the energies that are coming in right now are so supportive for this process of renewal. So then what I've seen after this earth and the sun inside of that earth, I've seen a turtle. Why turtle? Well, turtles are slow, right? And they're quite careful. When they sense a danger, they kind of hide inside, right? But the message was, be patient. Be patient. Anything that puts you into a state of joy will eventually bloom, will make you bloom. But be patient with it. Right now, energies are not like so nourishing to make your life blooming immediately. But what you're doing right now will be so significant in the future. And I get reminded of my childhood as I found a sport, freestyle mountain biking. I was in this sport for over 12, 13 years. And I had such an incredible joy in this sport. It's not that with that sport I was able to pay my bills later in life, but because of this sport I became who I am today, so I can live my dream life. You see, when you find something that truly brings you joy, it's not necessary that it will turn your life completely around, but in years to come, it will take you to your dreams being fulfilled. And that's what I was reminded right now, to remind you, hey, amidst the chaos that's happening right now, turn towards the joy and be patient like a turtle as you're moving through it. And then there was the last word that came to me, and it was from Buddha, like Buddha's wisdom. I just got reminded, hey, nothing is real. Nothing is real. Even though when we're living, awake, moving through life, everything feels so real. You get hurt, right? Someone may scam you. And the world is at a challenging place right now. And a lot is going on. But still, when you close your eyes and enter into this state of nothingness, everything kind of dissolves, and you recognize that you are this infinite being, multidimensional being, having an experience where you're supposed to learn, to grow, to experiment, to demonstrate who you came here to be and what can happen through you if you evolve in your skills, if your capabilities. So I was reminded, hey, even though this may be a challenging period for the humanity, at the same time, get reminded that nothing is real. It is real, but it's also not so real. So many times when I'm meditating, I get to the place where all this material world just dissolves, and I get into a place of nothingness. And in this place, it kind of feels like being connected with everything. And when I get into this place, I feel so free. But when I come back into my body, I don't feel so free anymore. There's still a lot of chemistry going on and still some attachments that we have, unconscious attachments and all of that. And that's what we're learning to surrender. That's what we're learning to let go. And we're learning to place more attention to what we want to grow, and we're learning to let go of what we want to leave behind, and to forgive, and to manage ourselves. We're learning all of that. So sometimes if we are reminded that nothing is real, we kind of get our power back, and we ask ourselves where we want to invest our energy to. So may this upcoming month be a month for you where you will be not just planting the seeds and working on them. You will be also reminding yourself that maybe your troubles right now are not so real as you're making them. It doesn't say ignore them or don't do nothing about them. It just says don't be so emotionally involved in them. Because one day when you will resolve them, you will notice how much you've been obsessing over something that eventually worked out. And however it can make sense to you, well, notice what resonates with you. And notice what from this message you can take into your heart and use it as a practice. Like the practice of detaching from the world here and there, from the chaos here and there, finding the sun that shines within you, the light that shines within you, and find a way to integrate more of it, in a sense that when nothing makes sense, you find the sense of self inside of you, right? When you find the sense of self inside of you, then the world outside of you doesn't need to make sense. The point is that you know who you are, and then you do something with your life, right? So know that it's okay if you're feeling off. Know that it's okay if you're going through the shifts. Know that it's okay if you're feeling confused right now. This year was, it was quite a journey. But also know that few years from now, you will be so proud of yourself and so happy for yourself that you've done something today and this month and this year, and the progress you've done this year, well, it's something to be admired for. It's something to really be grateful for. You've done a lot. Be proud of yourself. And also hold yourself on, because it will still be intense. And just know that you already know what to do. So don't give up. Move forward with a sense of patience, right? You got this, my friends. I will leave you here. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power from this hummingbird. I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting process. To anyone who would love to support my art, you can find it on AttractPassion.com or Etsy store AttractPassion. And also thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community for more exclusive content. You're all truly appreciated, my friends, and till next time, one love.